There are people who spend their whole lives chasing something they cannot name. And there are others who move so fast that they never notice what truly matters. Elias belonged to the second group. From the outside, his life seemed completely normal. He had a stable job, a quiet apartment, and a routine that his friends often admired. But deep inside, he felt a heavy emptiness, as if each day passed through him without leaving any mark. Every morning, Elias repeated the same pattern. Wake up, dress quickly, rush through breakfast, squeeze into the crowded train, and hurry into his office before the clock turned 8. People said he was disciplined, but Elias knew better. It wasn't discipline, it was fear. Fear that if he slowed down, even for a moment, he would hear the quiet voice inside him asking a question he wasn't ready to answer. What am I doing with my life? One afternoon, after a long meeting filled with meaningless arguments, Elias felt something inside him crack. Instead of returning to his desk, he left the building and walked without direction. He didn't care where he was going. He just needed to escape the noise, the expectations, and the routine that felt like a cage. His steps eventually led him to the edge of the city, where a narrow path followed a calm, flowing river. Under an old tree sat an elderly man. His clothes were simple, his posture relaxed, and his eyes held a depth that made Elias pause. He sat nearby, trying not to disturb him, but the old man turned and gave him a gentle smile. "You look tired," the old man said. "Not in your body, but in your heart." Elias froze. No one had ever spoken to him like that. He hesitated, then sighed. "I don't know what I'm doing anymore. My days feel empty. My life feels quiet in the wrong way." The old man picked up a small stone from the ground. "Tell me," he asked, holding it up, "does this stone have a purpose?" Elias frowned. "It's just a stone. It doesn't do anything." The old man nodded. "That's what we think about ourselves when we move too fast. When life becomes a race, everything loses meaning. Purpose isn't something far away. It isn't a treasure you need to chase. Purpose is something you notice only when you finally slow down." Elias looked at the calm river. It wasn't rushing, yet it kept moving forward with steady rhythm. He suddenly felt how noisy his life had been, even in silence. The old man's voice softened. "When you rush, you miss the signs. Purpose isn't hiding from you. You are hiding from it." For a long moment, Elias didn't speak. He realized he had spent years trying to meet expectations that weren't his. He chased achievements that didn't matter to him. He filled his days so completely that there was no space left for meaning to enter. And now, in the presence of a stranger, the truth felt painfully clear. He thought about the small things he once enjoyed: reading while the sun rose, cooking slowly on weekends, listening to people without checking the time, walking without a destination. These were the moments when he felt most alive, yet he had pushed them aside in the name of being productive. Maybe purpose wasn't a goal at all. Maybe purpose was found in the honest way he lived each moment. The sun slowly dipped toward the horizon. The old man stood up and brushed off the dirt from his hands. "Remember," he said softly, "purpose isn't in the distance. It appears when you stop running and meet the moment you're in." Elias watched him walk away along the riverside path. For the first time in years, he took a deep breath, an honest one. He didn't have a grand plan. He didn't suddenly know the meaning of life. But he felt something shift inside him, a quiet clarity, a gentle direction. And sometimes, that is all a person needs to begin again. From that day forward, Elias made a simple promise to himself: to slow down enough to listen, to feel, and to live with presence. Because purpose wasn't waiting somewhere far ahead. It had always been walking beside him. He had just never looked long enough to see it.